top caliber, like the Nia Jax, the Becky Lynch's,
Yeah.
that the upper echelon.
Well, I think, like I said, she got a. I think they. Well, I think they're gonna start off with probably in a tag team with her. If it was me, I would have her and Bianca team up and let them
But that's a
do.
dominant tag team, bro.
I know, but it covers her. Even though Bianca, she's good, but she, this new they televise, they move and stuff. You can tell what they're supposed to do.
Yeah. Sometimes you can see where the person will move in the mat.
Yep.
So they can be like, bro, really?
Yep. What up, what up, what up? It's the $2 Sports Talk Show.
Right.
Coming at you this Tuesday afternoon in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It seemed like, hey, man, you on the $2 Sports Talk Show with Drone and Yo. We have a special guest coming in, Coach Eli Brown from the Booker T. Washington Hornets. He's the head men's basketball coach. But, hey, man, what was your weekend like, man? It was crazy, wasn't
it? Bro, I watched, I went and watched The Monkey Man. Bro, you can wait, bro. They talk about the best fighting movie in decades. No, the best action movie in decades. That is a big no.
You talking about Godzilla and King Kong?
No, that's good. That's good. I'm talking about Monkey Man.
What the crap is Monkey?
It's about the dude who's going to fight.
I wasn't. I don't know what that is. So they tell you right there. I wasn't going to see it anyhow. I don't even know what it is. I don't even know. I imagine what Monkey. Then when you said it, then I remembered. Okay, that's the. I've seen the previews a couple of times. But Godzilla, I heard Godzilla and King Kong was worth the money.
Yeah, it is. It's I give it a B plus on Yo's rating of movies. It gets a B plus. It's worth going to see. They actually kind of twisted where you actually get into the characters and why it's going on and what's going on and why is it happening. Uh-huh. So yeah, it's worth it. But Ghostbusters, you can wait for it to come on screen.
Hey man, I seen Ghostbusters 1. That's all I need to see.
Ghostbusters.
Wait
till it to come on screen.
Yeah, I don't need to see. I don't need to see
Monkey Man. Wait till it come on screen.
Don't need to see them. Hey man, so
Dune, I'm waiting for it to come on screen.
Did you see? Have you been keeping up with Shogun?
No, I need to catch up on those Shogun.
You got to catch up, dog.
I got to catch up on Shogun, bro. Because see, some shows, you have to have quality time with your wife.
I get that too, but see, my wife likes Shogun too. She one got me into it, Well, so that's some of my see the difference. Let me
break it down for you.
Let me break it down for you.
Yeah.
See, a lot of people don't get, and sometimes women don't. Men are simple.
Yes.
And so with men, we look at if we sitting down watching a movie together.
That's quality time.
That's quality time.
Absolutely.
If we sitting there,
if we at a restaurant,
that's quality time.
If we eating food,
that's quality.
That's quality
if
time.
We sitting in the same room with you,
and we talking,
that is quality time.
See,
according to men.
Yes.
But according to women, that's not quality time. Getting dressed up, going out, or going to the park, holding hands, walking, things like Tracy, I'm trying to school you. You young buck. I'm trying to school you right here. So when you get there, you don't get caught up. When you say, "Hey, babe, I spend quality time with you," you say, "No, that's not quality time. That's something we do all the time." But men look at if we're watching a favorite show, we do it every week.
That's quality time.
That's quality time.
Yes.
But not the women look at, hey, you need to get dressed, take me out. We need to go walking, holding hands at the park. Those things are considered quality time. Or turning off the TV, no TV on, no cell phone, and sitting down having a conversation. That is quality time. Even though during that conversation they can fall asleep, but you can't. You fall asleep.
Oh.
That's not quality time. You fell asleep.
Oh, yeah.
Hey man. I'm telling you, dog. Yeah. Trey said, I'm not ready, dog.
All of these are true statements. That drone has just made PSA.
He said he's not ready, dog. He's not ready.
I'm telling you, bro. We don't need much.
Yeah, we don't.
We don't need much.
Hey, leave us alone. Let us watch sports. You can give us quality time. That's quality time right there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You come in, you say, hey, you need something to drink, you need something to eat. We done spent quality time.
Yeah.
That's the way the men think. You know, we don't need a whole bunch, you know.
No.
But your wife, the woman.
Yeah, you have to have with my wife, we have to have at least one good conversation a day. We have to go over what we did with each other that day. And then the only really argument we have on a daily basis is what are we eating for dinner.
Man, that's one of them real arguments.
Yeah.
Cause the men, we're not real picky. And
right.
Once again, it goes to the men again. We simple. We not real picky.
You know, we can have a good grilled cheese sandwich and I'm good.
A peanut butter and jelly sandwich, malted meal.
Yeah.
Oatmeal,
yeah.
You know, we good. We ain't doing Roman noodles. I don't eat Roman noodles, but some people eat Roman. Yeah. But we, you know, hey, what restaurant you want to go to? Oh, it don't. This way it go. The man, hey babe, what you want to go eat? It don't matter. Okay, we finna go to say Olive Garden.
Okay.
I don't want pasta. That's gonna give me heartburn. What you said?
Yeah.
It don't matter.
Yeah.
And then say, well, we just go to when Fuddruckers. We was gonna go to Fuddruckers. I don't want no hamburger. But you said it don't matter.
Yeah.
So after a while, you go through that for about an hour.
Yeah.
You just say, what do you want? Well, wherever you stop. What? Just tell me what you want. That's all it takes. Hey man, this is the life of having a woman.
Yeah. With my wife is fish, chicken, or something else. But most of the time it's fish or chicken with my wife. So, you know, if we go to a fast food restaurant, there's only a couple of them she'll eat at. It's either Taco Bell, Popeyes, or Brahms. That's it.
Oh, see, but that's simple though, because you know which one you're gonna eat it.
Yeah.
But no, it's not really simple. No, because you say, "Hey, babe, let's go to Taco Bell." I don't feel like Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Well, what do you want? I don't know. Whatever you choose. Well, let's go to Brahms. Oh no, I don't want no Brahms. I had Brahms yesterday. Well, good goody goose. What do you want us to choose then?
Then I'd be like, let's go to Popeyes. Get your app out. Get on Popeyes. Get your app out.
Then no. Now you're getting in trouble because you're using a coupon. No, that don't count, man. Yeah, don't count because you're using a discount card to use a coupon. It don't count, dog.
How that don't count?
It don't count. Hey,
you have points?
No, with men it counts.
Yeah.
With women, I don't know if they count, dog. That might not count.
I'm quick to use my points. I'm gonna let you know.
Hey, we go to BJ's. I use I got rewards. I got $10. I got about $10 rewards. I use them.
Oh yeah, it's free money. It's free.
Yeah.
You earned them, right?
Yes, I earned them.
It's like vacation. It's something you earn, so you should be able to use it according when you get ready to use it.
You should.
Yeah.
You should.
Yeah.
Now, see, but when you're married, points is good. But when you're just dating, Trey,
oh no,
you're in trouble, dog.
Yeah.
You're in trouble.
How many chicks did you take her to get these points? Did you take the side chick here?
Yep. Hold on, time out. You got how many points?
Who else you been here with?
Who else you been here with?
Yeah.
I thought I was the only one that you with. And you got all these points. Yeah. And you say, babe, it's just you. You know, I come. No, I don't want to hear that, Trey.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
You lying to me.
You lying.
You done brought some other
fancy food up in there, and she been eating all the yam and wham.
And so now you want to use points on me when you spending your money on her. I think, hey, man, hey, that's the way it is, you know. So you ain't got no one.
Yes. See, we at that point that we got significant others, so you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Now you have to be like, man, these my points.
yeah. Now you fighting over points.
Yeah. Because they'll get on your app and then want to send your points up, and you be like, yo, what is you doing?
Yeah.
Oh, you get free the sending apple pies on yours.
Yeah. So you don't get in trouble now, because now you're married.
Yeah. And
so you using points now for the family. It's helping to save money for the family.
Yeah, but you gotta remember though.
Yeah. Well, what Floozy you done brought here so you can become a gold member, Trey.
Yeah.
You know?
This is what I tell my wife. I say what's mine is mine and what's yours is mine. That's how I do it.
Trey like, hey, ain't my fault you're a bronze member. I'm a gold member. I come here all the time. You know I don't cook.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what Trey talking about. You better get your points up.
Then. You like, hey, baby, get your weight up. I'm talking about, I don't cook.
That's what I'm Trey talking about. I don't cook.
That's
what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I became a gold member because I don't know how to cook. I'm not cooking nothing. Yeah. Ain't no cooking coming down for me. So I became a guy. So now Trey he in a whole different spot trying to explain why he a gold member, why he got all these points. That he ain't brought nobody here with him. It's just him. And hey, baby, see, but if we go, then if I use the points, then we can go to the movies.
Yeah.
Because I ain't got to spend money on the meal. I can spend money at the movies. And you can get some popcorn with butter. Yeah, that's what Trey talk. Now you get 2 meals.
Y'all burned up with that one.
Trey said you get 2 meals because you got the popcorn. Then when you added butter on there, and now I gave you a drink. You gonna got some wham bams, and so you got some dessert.
Yep.
I didn't have to go to the Dollar Tree and buy up all the candy. No, it's not $1 no more. It's $1.25 tree, and buy the candy and sneak it in, put it in my pocket. I was able to buy it from the theater. You know what I'm saying? So them points come. So as a single man, well, no, you're not. If you got a girl, you can explain to her how you get the point and how the points are being used and the benefits of having the points.
They my mama.
Now you gonna say, nah, babe, I let my mom and my daddy go. I let them go every time, and so I told them to give them my number when they go. So when they get them my number, 8 points come to me because my mom and daddy don't understand points, and they don't understand because they old. They don't understand about points in computer. So I tell them, hey, when you go, you give them my number. And I just get their point. That's a good way to explain. There you go.
Or give me the receipt.
There you go. You get a receipt, and you tell I didn't have my number when I came in, and so here's my number. Can I get my points from later? There you go. See, that's a player. That's a player. That's a player thinking right there. Hey, they said be ready, stay ready. Hey, that's that player thinking. Hey, we're gonna play when we get back. We're gonna talk some basketball when we get back here on $2 Sports Talk Show. You ain't got no sense.
Where you get these points from?
My mom, my parents, they went to, my parents love going to Red Lobster every week.
Why you
stuttering? They going to Red Lobster every week. They just give me their points.
You gotta hit them with that. You want these points or not?
Do you want to eat or not? We ain't got no. Do you want to eat?
Popcorn for dinner.
He said, now you get 2 meals. Lord, you ain't got no sense.
At least she ain't asking to go to no Ruth Chris.
Ooh,
Nah.
Ruth Chris don't do no points.
sure don't. Trust me, I know.
They don't do no coupons.
Ain't no coupon, ain't no points, ain't nothing.
When y'all talking, y'all remind me of that one episode of Everybody Hates Chris. Julius had to take his wife out, and then he put a coupon out. But in the midst of him taking his wife out on the date, they robbed the restaurant. So he had to give the robber a coupon.
I seen that episode. ain't no coupons in no Ruth Chris. You might get a 2-for-1 dinner.
You might get a
birthday.
a birthday.
Yeah, you might get a plate. But that 2-for-1 dinner, it's gonna cost you just as much as getting 2 dinners. That's all the discounts you're getting from Ruth Chris.
That's where all the palm go. All the palm want to go. Ruth Chris.
No more.
Where they going?
No more.
Where they going?
They'll go to Cheddar's. They go to
Dollars.
they don't even go to fancy restaurants anymore. They'll go to IHOP. Yeah. They'll go to IHOP. They'll go to
Doing that tonight. They going backwards. They might as well go to Waffle House.
What's going on, sir? What's going on?
What's going on, man?
Let's meet you next week.
What's up, man? Good to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you.
Yeah, sorry.
You're gonna hop in that chair right there. Yeah. What's going on, man?
Good.
So it seems like you got cheated at the end there, bro.
Man. You saw what I saw in you.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought you finna get another one.
Huh?
I thought you was about to get another one.
So you saying he got cheated like Trey be treating this girl at using a coupon?
So how you squad? So you decided going back to 5A?
Yeah, it was good going back. I mean, that's about where the school is.
Welcome back to the $2 Sports Talk Show here on KBOB 89.9 FM. Hey, this weekend, man, if y'all wasn't at the Eating Out band premiere, y'all don't know what y'all missed. They had a packed house and they was all in they white. Just and you know, Bobby was sitting down in the chair looking like Tom Jordan. But they had a packed house. Hey man, everybody I talked to, everybody I heard from, they said they had a good time at the Eating Out band concert premiere at the 36th North Event Center this week. Hey man, they're doing good things. So they are booking right now. The Eating Out band, they are booking. If you're looking for a band, get in touch with Bobby Yeaton and see what he goes on. All right, y'all. We here we go. You know, this was a big week of basketball this weekend, and we're gonna talk ball. That's all we can do is talk ball. And we got one of the top men's basketball coaches here in the state of Oklahoma in the house, Coach Eli Brown from the Booker T. Washington Hornets. What's going on, Coach?
Thank you. I think you made a mistake.
Hey man, stop being so humble.
Bro, come on.
Stop being so humble, dog.
You a state champion, bro.
Yeah, I mean that's 9 years ago.
But that's still on your resume, right? That's still on your resume, right?
You're right.
How many winning seasons have you had in a row?
Oh, I've only had 2 seasons where I didn't make it above 500. 14.
So
that's what I'm saying.
So we said one of the top coaches
and from what you got to work with at Tulsa Public Schools you got to go against these other schools that have much more to work with.
Yeah, it's tough.
You're doing something right, man.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
right.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. In my book, you one of the best coaches I have met, and I know personally.
Yeah, thank you.
You know, I can say that from you know where I come from. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, no, we're not lying when we say one of the best.
All right, so this year you had a real good season. You made it to the state finals.
Mm-hmm.
At the beginning of the year, what did you think that you all were going to do? Because you all had lost some players, and so you had to build back up. And mindset, what was that first goal that you set for your team this year?
You're probably gonna think I'm lying, but it was to win a state championship. I fully expected to be where we were, but with a different outcome. I think all my kids felt that way too, and my staff. We knew we had a chance to be good with the young talent that we had, and they were bought in. And the leadership of our two juniors who were returning, DJ Harris and Jamari Simpson, we knew that we could get back to that state tournament and possibly win it. And so that was our goal from day one.
Now, because you pretty much did what you wanted to do this year. Y'all pretty much sort of like flew through, and I don't know. I don't want to say if you was up under the radar, but do you think a lot of people underestimated what you all had and what y'all could do this year?
I think there was a level of that because we were so young, and those names were not household names or proven anything yet. And so I think people knew that we would be good, but they just didn't know how good we could be because we had nothing to go off of. We had nothing to really make them think that, okay, they did this last year, those same kids, they'll be back. I mean, we lost maybe 70% of our scoring last year. And so it was incumbent upon the new guys like Isaac, Mason, and Jock to step up and really give us a boost. They were all young and hadn't really played that much. And then you had also other newcomers off the bench and Trey Bruner and LJ Scott, Braxton Daniel, who really gave us another boost off the bench as well. And so those 8 kids, and you throw in, you mix in Greg Nash and Riley Williams. So we had 10 guys who were bought in and really worked at it. And they were all new, but they were confident.
Now, how big was it? Because did you have any seniors on this squad this year?
No, I didn't.
So to have them 2 juniors, how big was it for them to see them step up and take the leadership role to cause everyone else to buy in?
I mean, it's huge because they had the experience along with my sophomore Isaac Sanders. They had those only 3 that returned with any varsity experience from last year's team. So they had to lead the way, vocally and physically, and they did. And they were there every step of the way, being leaders and great stewards of the game for our younger kids.
Now, you've adjusted a little bit of your style. Because when I seen y'all play Edison, there was a moment there where you all were playing in second half. It's like something shifted, and you put a press on that was just like they couldn't do nothing with. That was a little bit. Is that something new that you've added because of the type of players that you had, or is that something that you always just had in your hip pocket?
Well, a little bit of both. I mean, I've always been a pressure guy and really kind of get after you, speed the game up, play fast. But playing them again after we had lost to them a week prior, I knew there was some changes that needed to be made from the game plan, and that's what we did. So we came at them differently than we did the first time that we played. The second time that we played them 3 times total. And so I knew Marco, he's a great coach, and so I knew doing the same thing again was going to give you the same result, which was a loss. And we didn't want that, so we had to come different. And so we kind of sprung it on them and surprised them with it, and that's why they wasn't ready for it. It's a little bit of a psychological edge where they know that that's what you do, but when they don't see it for a half or a quarter, or maybe he's not going to press tonight, and boom, you hit him with it, it's like, oh crap.
Coach, you got that one player. I don't know his name, but he remind me of the young dude from New Orleans, from the Pelicans, the one that always sneaking up behind everybody, stealing the ball.
I can't think of his
name. And
Hispanic.
Yeah, he's just. I'm talking about. That's what he remind, because he's just a scat. He was all over the place.
Yeah.
And what grade is he in? Is he one of your sophomores, or is he one?
He's a sophomore. Yeah, he's talking about LJ.
Yeah.
He's a sophomore. That was off the bench.
Yeah.
He's a spark plug for us.
Oh yeah, he'll spark dog.
Yeah.
He'll spark for real.
You know, it's crazy because more people talk about him than the starters, which is fine with us. But it just goes to show you that you can make an impact even if you're not in the starting lineup. And I wish more kids would understand that.
Well, the thing is, he didn't get, because you really didn't. You seen him first half, but you really didn't see him first half.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you went to the press,
Mm-hmm.
you seen him a lot, and he's like, he jumps out at you.
Yeah.
And then you'll pull him back.
Yeah.
And then you'll wait a good bit, and then you'll put him back in. He'll jump out at you. It's like he's like one of them hit and miss. But it was interesting because it's like they understood their role.
Mm-hmm.
How difficult was it to get your players to really understand the role that they had on the team? And everybody cannot be the 30-point scorer, but you had a role that was just as vital and important.
The reason why we got where we got is because those kids bought in from day one. I can't remember an instance where there was any complaining about, I'm not touching the ball, I'm not scoring, or whatever. And that's why we were where we were, because of those kids. They made the decisions to buy in and not push back on anything all season long, all summer. Just like they're doing now in the weight room and skill development. And so them buying in from day one is the reason why we were where we were. So we didn't have that issue of guys wanting to be the 30-point a night guy, because at the end of the day, now, especially those top 5, top 6, 7 guys, they're all getting some kind of recruitment right now. And they're young. So it's going to work out when you just buy. Coaches know if you can score 30 a night, if your team needs you to do that. But they also know that you can do it, but when your team doesn't need you to do it, you can still be comfortable doing playing your role and being strong in your role. And that's what we have.
Well, I know a couple of times during the season, and even especially the game I went to, you got onto your player for not shooting or not driving to the hole.
Yeah.
That's something you really don't see. Is that I've seen you coach before, and I've never seen you get onto a player because they didn't shoot or whatever. Is that something new because of the type of players you have, or the type of player that he is, that, hey, you need to take, it's now it's time for you to take control?
Yeah, no, I know which player you're talking about. And I want him to believe in himself as a shooter more. He's a great driver, great facilitator, great passer, loves to pass, which is fine. But I need him to take the next step and be comfortable and confident shooting the 3 ball. And we're working on that now. But it's funny because, you just don't usually see kids like that anymore who don't want to shoot the ball, who just rather, give it up and find a teammate. So I haven't really ran into that until this year. And it was a good problem to have, but we're trying to work on that now where he's not, just only facilitating. He can be a threat to the square.
Well, Coach, we know in 6A, a lot of the teams that you face pretty much set up for a player to shoot the ball,
Mm-hmm.
or they set up for a player to get it on the wing.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I can say about your squad is that y'all didn't go like 7. Y'all went 10, sometimes 11, sometimes 12.
Right.
How was that easier to coach that away? Because it seemed like it's predicated on y'all playing defense.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't play defense for Booker T,
You can't play.
you're not on the court.
You can't play.
You're not on the court.
Right.
So you got your whole squad to buy in. So how hard was that to say, hey, we gonna press, we gonna play D, we gonna do this, and if you don't do this, you do not play.
Right. Well, you first of all, with that mindset and that style, you have to make sure you cut the head off the snake. And what I mean by that is, you got to make sure your best player, and everybody who on that team who considers that to be the best player, you got to hold that player more accountable. Because if you let him slide,
Everybody else
gonna think they can slide. But if you make him own it and hold him accountable, and everybody else know he holding the best player to this standard, he gonna hold us to the same standard. And so you do that, and then, but there wasn't a lot of that having to be done because my juniors, BJ and Jamari, were my hardest workers. And so they set the tone, and it just kind of made its way on down.
Okay.
And that's why I say they made it easier for me to do what I needed to do to help them get the success that they wanted. And playing that many players means that you're gonna get tired because of the style we play, which means that opens up more playing time for more players, which is a fun way to play. But a lot of kids and parents today just want to see their son playing. That's it. And I get it, but this is a team game. And a coach who wants to win is only trying to do what he feels is best for the team to win.
Yeah.
You know, you're to talk about politics and favorites. Well, there is politics and favorites. And the favorites are the ones who work their tail off and who listen and do what the coach asks them to do. Those are our favorites. Politics is you want to win games, you want to get postseason awards for your players. You have to make sure that their names and everything like that is out there.
Yeah.
So you got to play that game as well. And so I think that when you talk about playing that many players and the style of play, you're right. Everybody does have to be bought in, and they were bought in from day one.
Now, AAU ball and school ball, to me, is different.
Okay, yeah.
It's totally different. How difficult is it to try to get your parents to understand that, hey, this ain't AAU ball. This ain't where you just dribble down court and just play ball. Well, yeah, this is a different type of game. How difficult is it to get your players and the parents to understand, hey, I got the best interest for your child, and this is what we have to do? Because, like I said, your livelihood, you don't win, you ain't got no job.
Yeah.
So your livelihood is at stake. So you trying to play the best. Right. How difficult is it to get the parents to understand that and the players?
I've been on both sides with AAU and high school basketball. I coached at both camp for a few years, and then I had with my cousin DJ, we had Tulsa Elite for like 7 or 8 years. So we were in the AAU scene and the high school scene at the same time. And while you're right on it's two different games, but when you get to the high level AAU, the Nike circuits of the world, it's just like high school. There's scouting reports, there's film watching, there's preparation, there's playbooks, there's 2-hour practices, there's proper nutrition and post game work, there's coaches meetings. When you talk about that high level, but when you talk about the lower level AAU, that's when you start to look at the bad habits of going one-on-one, taking bad shots, just showing up for games, not being prepared, not watching film, no scouting reports. You don't know what that player's strengths and weaknesses are. So it is a little bit of a freelance environment in the lower level AAU. And so you have to first of all, you have to educate parents on the difference of the levels of AAU, and then educate them on the similarities and the differences between high school and AAU ball. I think they should work hand in hand. High school basketball needs AAU, and AAU needs high school basketball. The argument that one is more important than the other is where we get in trouble. And parents have to understand they both need each other. I need the AAU scene to help my players get recruited, and the AAU scene needs the high school because they come to us to make sure that what they saw is legitimate, what their grades is like, how are they with the organization of high school ball, which translates to college ball. So you have to educate the parents on the differences and the similarities, and I think that's the best way.
Now, do you encourage your players to play AAU ball?
Absolutely. I don't like it when kids don't play AAU because that's more reps, that's more playing time, that's how you get better. You might have a little bit more freedom to do more, to work on your game, a little bit more space to do that. And so, yeah, I want all my kids every year to play.
Now, is there certain now, because you know the different types of coaches. You know who's a good coach, who's not a good coach. Mm-hmm. Is there certain ones that you recommend, like a top 5, 6 that you give your players to recommend? Hey, this is because you go here, you're going to get this, or you just let them go wherever.
Well, I don't intervene. I like to let them choose that because getting in between that is messy. But if they come to me and ask me for my advice or my interest on what they should do, then I will give them that honest opinion. And sometimes they like that, sometimes they don't. But because you came to me, I'll, intervene and help. But if not, then I'm gonna let you do what you need to do or feel you need to do. But there are programs out there that I think are really, really good and special programs. It really depends on the level of the player. Like I could tell a player to go play for a Nike team or an Adidas team or Reebok or not Reebok, but Puma team or whatever, and that kid may not be good enough to play on that team. Or a kid may be good enough to play on those circuits, and I'm like, okay, hey, you playing for your uncle over here. He can't give you what this shoe circuit team can give you. You may want to look at joining that team if you have an opportunity. And if you, we all know in the basketball world, if you playing on circuit teams, there's a higher chance of you getting recruited by higher level college teams. Nike programs and Adidas programs, those are the two programs that the coaches are going to first. Later on, they go to the lower level, or the mid majors, or the low majors, or go to the other levels. So it just depends on if you're good enough and what are you after? What are you trying to get? You can't get what you want Division One wise if you're just playing around Tulsa every weekend and you're in high school. You have to go play where the coaches are going to be at, so you can be seen. Unless you're killing it on a lower level circuit, and that word gets back to those Division Ones, they're still going to come to you and say, "Hey, if you're a sophomore, freshman, or junior, you're thinking about playing on this Nike team or this Adidas team," because now they're going to get to see you playing against other Division One prospects, which is important. Who you play against matters. You can go kill it playing against guys like me and score 40 a night. That don't mean nothing. But if you score 15 against other Division One prospects, okay, he can function against those kids, and so we can recruit him.
Now, how important? Because I know a lot of people don't believe how important that high school coach is.
Mm-hmm.
How important is that high school coach when it comes to recruiting, especially your players?
Well, it's important because we are kind of like sometimes we're the first call, sometimes we're the second call, sometimes we're the third call. And what that means is coaches are going to ask us, what type of kid are we recruiting here? What type of parents are we recruiting here? Because that's another big part of it. Is they recruit the kid, but they also recruit the parents. And so I get coaches calling me about kids who played for me, who didn't play for me, who I might have coached against. And they say, what are the parents like in the stands? Or have you ever had issues with this parent? That's important because, as you know, the transfer rule is just crazy and the portal is out of control. And so if you recruit a kid who's got crazy parents are unrealistic and delusional about their game and what they're good and what they're not good at, and if they're a headache, well, most colleges don't want to deal with that. They don't want you calling them, emailing them about their son's playing time or position or whatever. They want to do their job that they're getting paid to do. And so, yeah, they got to understand that we are important to the recruiting process because they're going to ask us for the grades. They're going to ask us for the school behavior. They're going to ask us for what type of player they're getting. They're going to ask us for their year-long stats and numbers. And so they want to make sure all that coincides with what they saw in whatever game that made them reach out.
Now, how difficult is that to get the parents to understand those things?
Well, some parents just don't want to hear that. They're not along for that type of ride to hear the reality of recruiting. Some parents just don't. They just think they can figure it out and not have to go the route that you're trying to suggest that they go, whether it's development wise or whatever. So some parents, you can talk to them until you're blue in the face and it won't matter. Some parents are receptive and say, hey, I need to know more. Tell me more. And those are usually the parents or the kids who end up creating something for themselves because they've taken advice and they've either humbled themselves to ask those questions or they humbled themselves after they got those answers and they put that to use. And that's I tell parents all the time, or kids first, the ones who make it, LeBron's and all them guys who made it, at some point they decided to listen to somebody's advice. The ones who are good and end up flaming out and not making it, they listen to the wrong advice. And so you have to understand and find out who's really got your best interest and who doesn't, who's just feeding you lies. And for a high school coach, we don't get anything out of sending you to this program or sending you to that program or having you go to this college or that college. All we get out of it is we able to say that, hey, we was able to make sure that this kid got what they thought they should be getting. and we don't get bonuses for putting kids in college or playing for certain teams or whatever. We do it because we love it, and I think that gets lost by some parents, and it's unfortunate, but that's just the way it is.
Now we're gonna take a quick break, but we're gonna get your advice. Since you talked about advice, there's some March Madness that went on, and there was a lot of NBA talk. So we're gonna talk ball.
Gotcha.
So when we get back, we're gonna talk some March Madness and also some NBA basketball with Coach Brown here on the 2 Dawgs Sports Talk Show.
Yeah, I bet you that is difficult.
Yeah,
You got the parents that's like, oh, my son's a star.
right. You should be starting.
Yeah.
You should be playing more.
Yeah.
And it's just like they love to throw out the, oh man, you playing politics. You just don't like something. I want to win. It ain't got nothing to do with your personality or your son. Well, if I feel your son can help me win, he's gonna play.
Right.
It's that simple. But some parents, they just build a different thought process when their kids not playing or not doing what they feel they should do. And it's funny that parents think that coaches personally and on purpose holding a good player back.
Well, I look at it. I think in some schools you do.
Yeah.
But some schools, I look at McLean, Booker T, Central. They don't have no parents that's making all this money where they paying all the money to the booster club, so you feel like you obligated to play the
right. We don't have that.
You ain't got that. So it's about playing the best player, and so I think that's something that we don't get. That here your child is going to get what's needed.
Yeah.
To get them to the next level. Not saying that Union and Broken Arrow and stuff won't do that, but it's a totally different. To me, it's a totally different ball game.
Well, you got the affluent parents being able to give 1,000 here. Hey, y'all going out of town? Here's 1,000.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you start thinking, well, I don't want these thousands to stop.
Yeah.
So I might need to play this kid more. So these thousands don't stop. And I can see where that. I've never had that type of clientele. So
I've seen it personally. I've seen it personally.
I mean, I would love to have parents that. I mean, I'm sure I got parents who can afford to do that, but they don't.
Yeah.
And I don't need them to. I would be hesitant to have a kid on my team whose parents just kept giving money. Because then you may start off saying, I'm not going to play the kid just because, but it starts creeping back in your mind. And then that parent may be making subliminal messages about you playing my kid when you're this way.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I've never dealt with
now
that.
you got the other parents hearing that.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, this player that you know shouldn't be playing, all of a sudden he getting game time. Okay, something ain't right with
Something ain't going right.
Yeah.
Right. We got to figure this one out.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I've never. But I'm sure places like the Union, they run into that, especially like football.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. I dealt with the basketball and the football with both my boys.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. In that manner. Giving money.
Yeah. Yeah. They with my son, and parents used to say stuff to me all the time. My son, he was getting like, they had him at DN. He was getting like 2 sacks a game. Another player where a parent was giving money, he was at safety. They moved him from safety to my son's position and moved my son to safety.
Wow.
So he can get some looks.
But I didn't see it.
Yeah.
On both sides too. But what's crazy is, to me, it's harder to make the Booker T, the Central, or the McLean team than going out to playing at Union, because you're asked to do so much more for so much less.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that dog in you, it don't matter what it is.
Yeah. You gotta have it. You gotta have
that dog. If you're gonna come out and play out north, you gotta have that dog in you. Because if you don't, you're not gonna play.
Yeah. You get ate up. You got to spit out. Yeah.
A lot of times, if your parents got money.
Yeah, but you don't have to have a dog in it.
No, I've seen it. I've seen it where you had something that didn't have a dog in them, but their parents had money.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. Because they had that money, they got to play.
Yeah.
The dog, they got on the court.
Yeah, it wasn't the dog; it was the money that got them on the field, on the court. Yeah.
And I didn't see it where you be like, bro, he's not better than him. but something else got to be going on because he's not better than him.
Yeah, I've had it where my son, the coach, used my son as an example, and when he talked about practice, used my son as an example. When he talked about hard work, used my son as an example. Yeah. My son, the number one player on the team, they put him on. He shut him down, but he wasn't getting no run. And the parents in the stands like, why ain't he getting no game? Why ain't he running? Why? I don't know. And I was gonna say something, and my son said, "Dad, don't go say no such thing." Because he told my son, he said, "You ain't gonna be nothing. You ain't gonna make it nowhere." I said, I was hot too. I was hot. My son, don't say that. But it ruined my son on going to play team ball. Yeah. He went to Oklahoma Westland, and he got a scholarship down there just to prove the coach wrong. But then he quit. Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. But then when he went to play AAU ball, because the coach had him playing one way, it messed him up playing AAU ball because now he's hesitant. And the AAU coach saying, "Hey, shoot, score." Yeah. He was hesitant. I said, "Man." I said, "Well, it's crazy. You wouldn't think ball was that politics."
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Welcome back to $2 Sports Talk Show. That's that back-to-back by Trinity Trey. Y'all know how we do it. All right, let's talk some ball. We had March Madness this week, and the Facebook and social media was hot. And we're gonna start with the hot topic, and it's not. And you think it was the men, but it wasn't the men. It was the women. And women, hey man, the women got over 18 million views for the championship game. The men only had 14.
I know why.
Yeah, we know why, but people don't want to say why, but we know why. We know why. We just gonna look at it.
Storylines on that women's side.
Oh yeah, it was really
more household names, more stay longer. Actually have a relationship with that player, with that team. Most of these teams were in the Final Four last year.
Okay.
So it just made it for more interesting basketball.
Okay. Now you already stop being politically correct.
Well, I'm just being honest.
No. Let's tell the truth. It was because you had just as much talent in other years that you had this year. But it was the Kagan Clark effect.
Yeah.
And it was the skin tone effect.
Yeah.
As me,
when I said storyline.
Yeah. it cause, but the games was good. Yeah. You had good games, and I agree. You had a lot more household names because the women there for 4 years. But it wasn't just that you had women that can play.
Yeah.
You had that can ball. And so my thing is, you look at what South Carolina did. They went 36, 38-0. They avenged the loss from last year. But for what Dawn Staley has done, people think that she just came into something. No, she came into over 7-8 years ago into a losing team. And each year she's improved and then won 3 state titles, 3 championships. The women game, do you think after this year that the women game going to keep growing, or do you think it's going to die back down?
Well, as long as you still got Dawn Staley at South Carolina, and Kim Mulkey at LSU, and Zeno at UConn, I don't think it's going to die back anytime soon. Because, like, Paige is coming back. I know Zeno's gone. Cardozo's gone. I think she's gone.
Yeah, Cardozo's gone. Paige
is gone.
Yeah.
But you still have, Juju and a lot of other kids still playing. And I think the interest is there now. And the storylines of Dawn being an African-American woman beating white males and white women and still in the show, that creates a storyline in itself. Then you had Caitlin Clark, who was a white female who was putting on the show every night and getting what it felt like was an unfair blind eye to her antics, but Angels was getting called out and other girls was getting called out. And so those built up those storylines, which made us want to see what was going to happen. The wave off from last year.
Yeah.
We want to see what if she gonna wave off again this year.
No.
You know what I mean? And then the defensive display that was given in that championship game by South Carolina on Clark was like, oh, okay, yeah, this is what we talk. And so you just had those storylines, and it made people want to watch it. As long as those coaches are still in those spots and they're as colorful as they are, it's going to continue to grow.
Well, a lot of people look at me and they say that I have favoritism, that I have something against Caitlin Clark, and I'm like, no, she's an excellent player. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
She has skills.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going away from her skills, but I think that she was the best shooter,
Mm-hmm.
but she had the green light,
Right.
because she was 75% of Iowa's offense.
Right.
So other players that come through, they didn't have that green light.
Mm-hmm.
Brianna Stewart didn't have that green light. Maya Moore didn't have that green light. Cheryl Swoops, they didn't have that green light.
Right.
Shamika Holsclaw, she didn't have that green light. You know, they didn't have the green light that Caitlin had. So she's able to do some things that other players can't. Do you think that she's the GOAT, or do you think that it's just the hype train right now that she's just that she's a good player?
You asked me, do I think Caitlin Clark is the GOAT?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. No. She's great.
Yeah.
Not the GOAT. Not the GOAT. Not the GOAT. No. She didn't. Number one, she hadn't even won one. She didn't win a championship. You can't be considered the GOAT without winning a championship.
Well, a lot of people look at her statistics.
See, that's the new, and I'm not saying you were doing this, but that's the new age of GOAT talk. How many points you scored and how many did you win more than the other people that you are in line with in terms of GOAT talk? She ain't won more than Diana Taurasi.
No. She ain't won more than Shamika, Brianna,
Stewart,
Cheryl Swoop, none of them.
Plum. You know what I mean? So I just don't see that. I don't see her as being the GOAT. I think she's a trendsetter. She brought some of the things that we saw in the men's game to the women's game, meaning the deep threes, the fancy ball handling. She was almost like Trae Young. A lot of deep threes, doubles with the assist and scoring. It just had that effect where you wanted to watch him do something that wasn't done. And I think that's what it's going to be more of her legacy, is that she brought some of that flavor of the men's game to the women's game.
Yeah, I would put her more like she's going to be the player that a lot of girls transition their game and model after. I don't think that she's going to be like the GOAT. She's going to be more like Steph Curry.
But my thing is, how many coaches are going to give their player the green light like she had?
They're going to have to go and show and prove that they can handle those situations. She was built to handle those situations. Everybody's not built to handle that load and handle that situation.
Well, I'm also sure that she went where she could be that. They have that green light. She grew up in Iowa, played for Iowa Attack.
Yeah.
So she built, just like Trae Young played for, grew up in Oklahoma, grew up in Norman, played for Mocan, won a Peach Jam National Championship. So when he went to Norman and had that green light, I mean, he's a hometown kid who could do what he was doing. So it's easier to give that type of kid the green light than a kid that ain't from Norman or Iowa, with that type of green light when they ain't from there. And so a lot of kids don't go where they are from. They go to school where they are from.
Now I know that we're men, and I'm asking this question from a man's point of view.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that if they drop the women's goal down to about 9 feet or 8.5, where they're able to dunk freely, do you think that will bring more eyes on the game because it will make it more of a comparison to the men's game and more exciting?
If they did that, I probably wouldn't even watch, because it'll be fun in the beginning, but then it's going to turn into, let me see if I can dunk that. Let me see if I can dunk. Let me see if I can get one. Let's see if you can. Now, instead of the focus on their fundamentals and their footwork and their shooting and their passing and their moving without the ball, now the focus is, okay, now we got to get girls to dunk. And so now the game goes away from the reason why we love watching women's basketball to, all right, this is different. Like, it's fun at first, but then it just turns into a show. And now it's not the basketball that we grew up and our whole lives knowing. And then you're going to get the people to cry about, well, they lowered why they don't lower it for high school then? Let high school boys play on 9 feet, or middle school boys play on 9 feet. What's the goal going to be at for girls basketball in high school, for girls basketball in middle school? Play on the same night, man. Everybody got to change it. So it's just a slippery slope. And I don't think it's something that I would want to see.
Yeah.
I don't like the rule. I don't think it should change. 10 foot has been the standard for pretty much our whole lifetime.
Since the game began.
The game began.
They just had smaller balls.
Yeah.
So I don't know if having the height requirement of the goal for women, because so that's the case. What about the Cheryl Swoops and all of them, and the one like Lisa Leslie? Then how many dunks she would have had if it would have been 9 foot instead of it being 10? She was dunking 10. So what she would have been able to do at a 9 foot. So I don't think that's a fair thing to try to bring into the fold now. I think they just need to leave it the same. The girls have developed a style of play that is more predicated on skills and teamwork and ball rotation and being able to set your shots up, being able to set your defense up, instead of actually using their athletic ability like we see the men do. Because that's what in the NBA, what makes a great NBA player is a super athlete who has all his fundamentals and sticks to his fundamentals, even though he doesn't have to.
Right.
LeBron, he's a super athlete, but all his fundamentals are solid.
Hold on. Is it raining outside? Is it raining outside?
No.
It must. Wait, man. We finna have a storm.
Why?
Because he just gave LeBron James some props. Hey, everybody get ready because it's gonna storm tonight. He did it with a straight face and was serious.
Well, I'm just saying he is a super athlete, but I didn't talk to so many pros.
And you said fundamentals and everything else.
I just didn't heard from so many pros about.
That's unusual, him, man. They don't go that way.
I just heard they say Carmelo about he ain't the fastest, he ain't the quickest, but his release is so quick, it's hard to defend. He can get his shot off regardless of where he's at on the floor. So I'm like, so that's the difference between a elite player and a good player.
Mm-hmm.
So I just didn't listen to a bunch of guys, especially on the NBA level, talk about what makes Michael Jordan so good.
I know what's coming.
They said he's a super athlete.
Talk to him about Mike.
He's a super.
Take all my time.
He's a super athlete, but he was fundamentally sound. But he had a gear and a desire to be great and not to let anything come in the way of his greatness. And so if he can find anything to motivate him, he used that to his fullest advantage.
So the question I have also, Caitlin Clark, most likely she's going to get drafted by Indiana Fever on the 15th. And ticket prices have already started going out the roof for teams that play her. Vegas is talking about going to a 20,000 seat arena for that game. They done doubled or tripled the ticket prices for that game already. And pretty much they say it might be sold out already. If she don't have a good season, do you think that it's going to push the women's game back, or do you think it's going to help propel it forward because it's going to say the talent in the WNBA is second to none? We already know it's second to none, but is it going to validate the talent?
I think that if she doesn't have the type of year that everybody wants her to have, I don't think it's time to panic. I think it's time to understand, like you just said, that the WNBA is really good, and it takes a year, 2 years, maybe 3 to get acclimated to it. Um, but if she comes in and dominates, then it will just speak to how good she really was, and we're seeing a generational talent. So that's all up in the air, remains to be seen. But either way, I don't think the
So
WNBA is doing.
so basically, you can say it's a win-win. No matter what happens, it's a win-win.
I mean, they already filling seats. That's trust me when I say this. Filling seats is more important than winning games because that's money. Money make the whole thing work. If you win the games and you ain't filling the seats, it don't matter. As a coach, you might get fired. So I think it's a win-win if she's coming into the WNBA, and I think it's a even better win if she struggles a little bit because now she's seen as human, and then she gets it figured out, which now she becomes a legend.
Well, that first game ain't gonna be them aces. Them aces, boy, they aces for real.
What she has to understand is, I don't want to say she has to understand, because she may already understand this. I don't know her, so I can't say she doesn't. But what we all have to realize is that the way she was defended in that championship game, she's going to see more of that. And she has to make sure that she understands how to counteract that style of defending. She may not see it every night, but she's definitely going to see that because she can step across that court and knock it down. But I think she's going to be just fine.
Now let's go to the men's March Madness here because I want to talk a little bit NBA before we get off here. Men's March Madness. Mm-hmm. UConn dominated everybody. Every game they won by more than double digits. Right. Will we see a three-peat?
I don't know because I don't know the ages of the players. I don't know who.
I think pretty much
everybody's eligible to return.
Yeah, I think pretty much.
If everybody's eligible to return to UConn and they keep those players, in, you very well can see a big. You very well can see it, which would be crazy. Mm-hmm. I mean,
I one came close as Florida. Florida came close.
They got beat back to back, but it's so hard to win. Period. Let alone back to back. If they pull this rabbit out the hat and go 3, you got to look at them as the new top blue blood and Danny Hurley as possibly to go because you're winning in an age where everybody's so mobile. Everybody moves and transfers and goes in, goes there, stacks teams, whatever. You're winning in this day and age is not easy. And so back to back is, and they lost like 3 starters from last year's team.
Yeah.
So even if he gets back to the Final Four, that's still going to be like,
yeah.
You know, because this is the age where they don't stay 4 years. They leave and jump ship and all that. And so it's amazing what he's done.
Well, one thing they was talking about is that when he don't sugarcoat nothing with the players when they come. He tell them like it is, and you might play, you might not play, but you're going to earn your spot, and that's what they get. So now you look at Calipari, we discussed on social media about Calipari going to Arkansas. Yeah. Where do you think that put Arkansas now, especially because he has unlimited range of NIL money, and he can recruit like crazy. But I think also he might switch up some ways he recruit. Where do you think that's going to put Arkansas in the scheme of the SEC next year? Because you got OU and everybody coming in, Texas coming in.
If he gets it going, top 3 in SEC. Top 3. I mean that's what Cal is. Especially with the NIL money and his ability to recruit. It also depends on what they want out of him at Arkansas. Do they want the 1 and done? Or do they want 2 and done, 3 and done? He's a 1 and done guy. I felt like the fan base at Kentucky got tired of that. Got tired of seeing that, we fell in love with this kid and he's gone. Now we got to figure out this new kid that's coming in. And especially when you do that and you're not winning, they get tired of that. So we don't know the full story, but I feel like he got pushed out of Kentucky. And I think he's going to take a little bit of a different approach at Arkansas, but I don't see a drastic
Well,
difference.
I think he might recruit a little bit different because we was talking about before we came on the show, and I've been mentioning a while back when the NBA stopped G League Ignite. To me, that was a sign on what might be coming down the pipeline, which is because college players can make money now, no more than one and done.
Mm-hmm.
I think you might have to stay 2 years, 3 years. Football, you have to be out of college for at least 3 years before you can go to the pros.
Yeah.
I think that might be where basketball might be leaning to. It might not be 3, but I think it might be 2.
I don't like it. But I'm going to tell you why. Most other sports can do it. You can be a tennis player at 14 and be a pro. You can be a golfer at 16 or earlier and be a pro. Soccer, baseball.
Well, baseball, if you go to college, you got to stay.
Right.
You can't leave.
I'm saying you can go out of high school.
Right.
I like the ability to go out of high school, but I also like the ability to have a level head about who you're taking as a team, a pro team. If you don't like the one and done, stop taking the one and done. Simple as that. If you don't think they're coming into the league ready, why y'all keep taking them? Because of money. That hot player for Texas is a marketing gold mine, and so they want to sell tickets. So yeah, we're gonna draft him. He ain't ready, but we're gonna draft him because the fans want to see him. Well, that drives the one and done up. We've had coming out of high school for a long time in the NBA. A lot of guys back in the 80s went through until they stopped it. There wasn't nothing wrong with it then. So it's what's changed is the teams have taken those one and done. They could say, no, I'm not taking Anthony Davis at the number 1 pick. Or they could say, okay, no, you're going to fall to 16 out of the lottery. Now that's going to make kids stay longer because, you're not just taking one and done because they went down on Americans. But that's not the case because it's money. Anthony Davis going to the Pelicans sold tickets and put fans in the seats. Home run for our pockets. We may not have won nothing. We wasn't close, but we sold tickets and jerseys and all of that. So I think that even if they change it, I'm not a fan of them changing it. I still think that the only way it's going to change really is if NIL keep kids in the school money.
And
Which means the money got to be crazy.
And I think that's what they're leaning towards. When you can have, rumor has it, like Marvin Harris Jr. They said boosted Ohio State offering $20 million
right
to stay.
Wow.
When I can make $20 million, which is pretty much almost more than what I make on my rookie contract, why wouldn't I? I know they showed highlights of the football team at Florida. Mm-hmm. Nothing in the parking lots of brand new Dodge Chargers.
That's crazy.
I know people in Norman, brand new Dodge Chargers. So that NIL money, when you can make $2 million and you ain't got to deal with the G League.
And you're a student?
Yeah.
Yeah, remember, you're still a student.
Right. You're still a student, yeah.
Well, this is what I think. To me, football is the only one that actually really needs a age requirement.
Yeah.
Because college allows you to see the skill level and the strength, because what changes is the physicality and how big and quick the player gets.
Right.
In basketball, to me, if you're a grown man in high school, going to college won't help you. I look at it like this. In our era, we had Tracy McGrady, Kobe Bryant, Kevin Garnett, none of them, I don't think, or in LeBron James. Those 4 players did not need college.
Right.
All those players was pro ready before they left high school.
Right.
But I think in basketball is more the mental state than the physical.
Right, but
and so I think you got to have your mind, because you're dealing with a grueling 86 game schedule where you steady going and hooping, where you coming from a schedule where you might have 30 games from high school, and that's including playoffs, but you at home.
Yeah.
Where I was watching something, social media, Agent Zero, his podcast stuff, and they had Jennings on there that went from high school to overseas, and then he came in. And they was telling him, said that you probably would have been a better point guard if you would have went to college, because in college they're gonna teach you how to facilitate. Yes, where when he didn't, and he flamed out.
Right.
So I think it has its good points, but I think basketball is more the mental state than it is the physical the physical state.
Well, that too, you have to have a team of people that actually know something and can tell you what to do. Like LeBron has the perfect team around him. I think every choice he's made, he has really thought about the impact it has.
I know it's gonna ring. You ain't gave LeBron this many props on our show ever.
Well, we're talking about just basketball in general. he has. I mean, have we ever seen LeBron in a very poor light? No. He's made sure that he keeps himself out of trouble. Doesn't do anything real crazy on social media. He makes sure everything he does is in response to something, or he's trying to trailblaze and do something new. But we never saw him in a bad light.
Well, I think with coming back from the one and dones, I think LeBron was different because he had pressure on him from high school to on up.
True.
Even from middle school on up, he had highlights and pressure and people on him and talking. Because he's always been in
he's the last player I remember ever getting on ESPN to actually watch high school basketball games. And I was like, is he this good where they got him on ESPN?
Well, and then now you got him on ESPN all the time.
Yeah.
You got players on ESPN. So, but I still think it's a slippery slope to a degree. But I believe they're gonna end up doing something. I believe something's gonna come down. Something is coming down the pipeline that's not the norm.
Well, to me, I think it will help the college more than anything, because to me, not being able to get those name players is hurting.
Because I can't tell you who's gonna be in the lottery this year.
Yeah, all we know is gonna be somebody foreign that we ain't never heard of. That's gonna be extremely.
And the biggest player you heard about in college is Edie, and they saying Edie might not even make it in the league.
Well, they said he won't be a lottery pick.
So who you got?
And he's the player of the year.
So who you got? You don't. So that's the whole thing.
Well, it's gonna be somebody foreign who's putting up big numbers, but they don't know if his game is really going to translate to the NBA.
Well, I look at it.
I like Wimbiana. That was a short thing, bro. He's 75.
Well, the Thunder need a big man. Go get Edie. We need another big brute down there with the Thunder, because we ain't got nobody that can rebound. Chet ain't big enough. He too slanky. Good. Chet more of a forward.
I had this discussion yesterday with a friend talking about Edie in the league, and I said, okay.
He got to go to the right spot.
I said, okay. I just started doing this. On Monday, you got Anthony Davis. on that back-to-back, you got the Greek Freak. Then you get 2 days off, and now you got Jokic, right? And then you got Porzingis, and you got Wemby. Who's he gonna guard? He can't just. So in college, he's able to drop coverage and just sit in the paint.
Yeah, he ain't able to do that.
He can't do that in the league.
Not even when they go to their zone defense.
That's when UConn took off last night, when they started doing that middle ball screen and the Spain pick and roll,
and making EB come away from
the decision.
Yeah, make him come out away from the basket.
And he can only go one way on offense.
Right. So that hurt him. Do I think there's an avenue for Edie in the league? Yes. I don't see the same dominance that he has now in college in the pros. But I think there is an avenue for him, especially if he can become mobile and be a good passer and be able to switch out and go on some.
Well, because I seen a play last night where Connecticut defender, he was playing him on his right hip. And I'm like, why don't you do a spin move?
Yeah.
He's playing you he's not even straddling you. He's playing you all the way on the right side. Yeah. And he can't do it. He couldn't do it. Where Burns can.
Burns might give you 2 spins in a row.
Yeah, but Edie couldn't spin.
Well, that's where the GMs think about their development, skill development. I think they can put that in him, but he'd have to get his lower body better. His lower body is just too thick to move and function in the NBA right now.
Now, speaking of NBA,
that was excellent analysis because I hadn't thought about it to that level.
You don't never think of that.
Well, I'm just saying.
You're not as skilled as me and him. You know, you don't know as much as me and him.
That was because who would he guard in the league? Yeah. He wouldn't be able to guard a Randall. He wouldn't be able to. No. He can't
guard Embiid.
He can't guard Embiid. Embiid's a little bit too strong. Yeah, because Embiid would take him away from the basket and go around it.
Now speaking of Embiid and then Philadelphia 76ers, I think that they have a good shot. Mm-hmm. Since he's back, he's rested, he's healthy. I believe that Milwaukee don't want no part of Embiid. Milwaukee hoping they lose tonight. Because if they lose tonight, they drop out the 2 spot. Where they won't be facing Embiid then. Do you think Philadelphia have a shot? I don't like Boston. I think Boston go. I think they start going. Him and Brown start. Your turn, my turn. Then they start shooting threes like crazy, and then you got Holiday instead of running the point guard. He's sitting in the corner because they going back and forth. I think Boston's gonna do their thing. Boston remind me of the Scorpion and Frog. They get you all hyped up, and then when you get across, the Scorpion sting. You say, "What do you think I was gonna do?"
Right.
That's Boston. I said that about my Dallas Cowboys too, but that's Boston. So, do you think Philadelphia has a shot to come out the East since Embiid is back healthy, and if he stays healthy?
Yeah, you just said it. If he stays healthy. If he stays healthy, they have a legitimate shot to come out the East. It's going to be hard to get by Boston. It's going to be difficult, but because they got Porzingis, and that's not a good matchup for Embiid, defensive wise. So I don't know. I think they got a shot for sure, but that's why we got to throw the ball up and play it out.
What you think, Yokes? You talk about me when I talk about my Embiid. You think I'm losing my mind.
I don't think until he's 100%, and him and Maxey get on the same page.
What?
I just think.
What have you been watching?
I just don't think they're going to be able to beat Milwaukee.
Good God from Zion!
I just don't think they're going to beat Milwaukee. I don't see it. I don't see.
What have Milwaukee done to make you think that they can do something in the playoffs?
Dame time.
Dame, you want to know where Dame time is? In Portland. He can't stand it down there in Milwaukee.
Well, I mean, he
where Dame time been all season?
He been there, but I think he's gonna ride. Like they say, the yeast rises to the top.
They don't have no inside game, no inside presence, none.
They won a championship with no inside presence. Did they, or did they not?
Lopez was defense player was in defense play running up that year. But then they had Holiday.
Okay, but who was their main scorer?
Embiid got put out before they got to Milwaukee.
Well, so the 76ers can't be put out again before they get to Boston until they get to Boston.
Tell me, what have Milwaukee done to give you so much confidence that Milwaukee's going to come out the East?
Dame time.
2 words.
That's it.
Dame time.
That's it.
Dame time.
He said that's all they need.
That's all they need.
Hey man, they had
This is one dude.
Hey, they got beat by the Washington Cotton Picking Wizards, dog.
I mean, Wizards has beat a couple of teams in the last week that they weren't supposed to beat either. So everybody must be taking them soft, or they must be playing really good ball right now.
So
it happens in the NBA.
So basically, you doing a Shaq saying they when it comes to playoffs, they're gonna step it up.
Yeah, right now they playing. Then when they go turn into barbecue chicken,
their defense is worse than it was last year, and they got put out first round.
I think the Thunder is going to go a lot deeper in this playoffs than everybody thinks they're going to go.
I think all depends on if SGA is healthy.
Well, I just think
that thigh is not looking too good.
Well, I think he'll be there when it counts.
If that thigh ain't right, you ain't supposed to do no cutting.
Well,
he's all about moves and cutting. That thigh ain't right, you ain't going nowhere.
Okay.
And they ain't got no.
So let's go to your favorite team to talk about on the West.
Who, the Lakers?
Yeah, the purple and gold.
That's not my favorite team, but I tell truths.
Okay.
I tell truths.
Will the Lakers do anything this year?
If AD step up.
Yeah.
Well, right. No. AD's been balling this year. AD they haven't been healthy.
He has been balling.
They haven't been healthy. They haven't had a full slate of rotation of their starting players. None this year.
All season, right? Okay, I give you that.
But that's not new. And the Lakers are a mess because they don't know who's really leading the Lakers right now. From a management standpoint to a court standpoint, is it LeBron's team or is it AD's team? LeBron says AD says LeBron because they don't want to step on each other's toes. But the show revolves around LeBron.
Let's get real. We know it's LeBron's team, but it's LeBron's team, but everything is keyed up AD.
So it's AD's team.
No, because LeBron called the shots.
Well, we know he called the shots, but that's part of the other issue. That's a whole other topic.
That's like the Miami Heat. We knew who team it was. It was D Wade's. Okay. It was D Wade's team, but LeBron, everything keyed off him.
10 people knew it was AD's. I mean, Wade's team. 10 people in the world, only 10. Everybody else said it was
No. It was Wade's team. It was Wade's team, but LeBron ran it. That's like you having a boss. I'm the boss, but you run it.
Yeah,
and that's what it is. And I think the Lakers has been balling. Don't get me wrong. They've been winning against teams that haven't been as Rudy Boots.
Yeah, who's not playoff worthy.
But the thing is, if AD is playing, and the key is what is that bench going to give them? What is Reeves going to give them? What is Art? The man that I can't pronounce his name.
I know what you're talking about.
Marty Roder, whatever his name is. So you can't pronounce it. Rui.
Yeah.
He's been balling lately. So it's all about what them others are going to do. I'm not worried about AD. I'm not worried about LeBron.
Did they get out of the play-in?
No.
Right now they have a good chance to be the 7th, where they only have to win one game. They got 3 more games left. They could make the 6th, but it's unlikely. But they can get out that 9th spot. They play Golden State tonight, and if they win, they can move up to the 7th spot. Mm-hmm. With the 7th spot, that first game, all they got to do is win that one game, and so now they at the 7th seed. The thing is, you don't want to meet Denver first round. But I said this last year, you got to make Jokic play defense. Nobody makes Jokic play defense. If the Lakers go inside and make Jokic play defense, now he's playing both ends of the floor. But if I can only play one end of the floor all day, I'm fully rested. Yeah. Get that big joker in foul trouble.
Well, I think there's 2 teams that will give the Lakers trouble: Denver and Dallas.
I'm still. Yeah, I'm about to kick him off. He tripping. I'm still leery about that.
One guy that if he gets in his head that he can't be stopped, he's a hard boy to
Who for
contain.
Dallas is going to stop AD?
Don't you say likely.
No, not.
And LeBron.
Nobody.
But if Luka
And
can,
I'm not even a Lakers fan.
I'm not neither, but he think I am.
yes, he is. Don't
He
let him.
undercover.
Yeah, he's undercover. I'm talking about he in the blinds. He open the blinds. He open the blinds. He shut the blinds.
Well,
He
the Lakers
open.
hat on.
Yeah. You know, one time it's purple, one time it's white, one time it's yellow. You know, you don't know what color it is, but he gonna have on the Laker colors, and he gonna open the blind, and he gonna close it.
When he at home by himself,
So,
he got
yeah.
a purple head.
Yeah.
Watching the
He
game.
gonna be like, what we got going on here?
I don't know.
Watch this.
I don't know.
Come on, Lakers. Yeah.
But I agree with who on Dallas gonna stop the Lakers. And I know they got Kyrie, and I know they've been playing real good lately, but they don't play no defense.
I was gonna say both of them got to play defense. That ain't what
The Dallas don't play defense.
True.
They shoot you out the gym.
Yeah.
That's it.
But if they get hot, can the Lakers stay with them shooting?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not a big Digo fan. But since Digo found out he was gonna be traded,
He been playing.
Digo been playing some ball.
Yeah. I was not expecting that, but he has. But in the West, who's beating Denver?
Denver can be beat, dog.
By who?
I look at Phoenix.
I don't think
Phoenix is
is too iffy. They ain't played together. I think the big three has only played 15 games together. Bill don't know what he want to be.
I would have said the Clippers, but
Westbrook got to get back healthy.
James Harden is all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
He's all over the place.
Well, don't he always do that playoff time?
Yeah.
Don't he always? It seems like as soon as he get playoff time, his game might be up here, but then he come down about 4 notches.
Yep.
And he play about here.
And Sacramento is not that same team they was last year.
Mm-hmm.
They're not sneaking up on nobody.
No, they definitely not sneaking up on. Everybody ready for them.
Yeah.
Everybody's ready for them this year.
Right now, if everything you got, if say the Lakers get the 7th seed, they playing the Nuggets first round. I don't like that. They'll play the Nuggets first round if they got the 7th seed.
And so that means
And then
AD would have to face the Joker.
Yeah. And I agree with you. When he played the Joker or he plays Sabonis, they make him look just like a stepchild.
Oh, that's a trick.
It's like he gets scared.
I don't know what it is.
And the Joker don't jump 2 inches off the ground.
I'm telling you,
Chill.
make that Joker. When have you seen a Joker play defense? Why do you think he's not ever up for Defensive Player of the Year?
Because he does just enough to make it through. But on the offensive end, bro, his jumper is like water. Because it don't hit no rim, no nothing. It's just perfect.
On the defensive end, you want who makes him look good? Aaron Gordon.
Yes.
Aaron Gordon backs him up.
The true awesome player on that squad is Aaron Gordon. And he didn't change his game from where it was in college to what it is now.
Porter really don't play defense.
No.
Joker don't play defense.
But Gordon does.
But
Gordon usually guards their best player.
But nobody challenges them. You don't see nobody challenging them. The games that they've lost are when other teams challenge them on defense.
Probably. But
That's why the Thunder, it's difficult for them because they challenge them.
plus they run.
Yep.
Plus they run. They're younger. And so they run. And it's kind of hard to stay with everybody up under 25.
Let San Antonio get some players.
With Wemby?
Let San Antonio get some players to win. Because Wemby is going to challenge the Joker, make him play defense. Let San Antonio get some players.
He's going to be – I hate to say this, but the way he's looking, give him a couple of more years where he can get stronger and actually get more NBA presence about him, he's gonna be a force to be reckoned
Oh
with.
yeah, for sure.
I mean, he can shoot, he can defend. He's an excellent weak side defender because you don't see him coming out of nowhere and then he patting it against the backboard. You're like, where'd he come from?
His brother come out in 2 years.
How big is his brother?
His brother right now, I think, is like 6'7", 6'8".
Oh, so he might spring
and just as good in handling the ball and everything as Wemby.
And now Wemby gonna be able to show him the NBA game at a much younger age, where he can actually sit down with film on him, and so he can see what he's really gonna come to. Because he's able to, because he's been one of the, with Coach Pop. Just imagine how much knowledge he's getting from Pop.
I'm excited about the Chet Wemby matchup.
Yeah, for the future.
But I think about 2 or 3 years, Chet ain't gonna be doing nothing with Wemby.
Nah, Wemby.
Wemby made him look bad because he don't like him anyhow because they have disputes from when
they're back in college.
Yeah, it's
But that's what the NBA needs. I like it when they don't like each other.
Yeah, I do too.
I don't like all this. Are we buddies? We was on the
jersey.
Yeah.
But Timberwolves, they missing Cat. If they get Cat back, I think it's making a difference. But it's up in the air on whether he's gonna be back or not. And right now they got the number 1 seed, which they tied with Denver. I don't think they're gonna hold the number 1 seed. But Minnesota, I would say Minnesota would be pretty good if they had Cat. But I think that's a big loss for them.
Well, he can do so much, and he makes you have to defend that spot on the floor, and
he can pull you to the 3.
Yeah, he can pull you to the 3, and he's leaving the lane open for what Edwards wants. He wants the lane open so he can go and rise. That young man rises on people.
I think that they finally started understanding how to play him
and Cat together.
No, Cat and the tall dude, the French,
Rudy.
The French, Rudy. They finally figured out how to play them together.
Yeah.
And then Cat end up hurt.
Yeah.
So, but we got to go, man. Hey, we appreciate you coming on the show. It's always awesome when you're on here.
Yeah. Gems for
us. We figured out the best time to bring basketball coaches in is after the season.
Yeah, it's a lot less hectic.
Yeah. So, but hey, good luck on next season. And congratulations on this year that you had.
Yeah, well, we need to come up there and check you out, Coach. Check out the players so we can get more,
Anytime.
Okay, let's be honest before we go up here. How good did it feel to be more? Even though we know they down this year, how good did it feel?
Man, it was a good win. I mean, it was good. We made a lot of people happy. Put it like that.
Okay.
We made a lot of people happy. More was good, man. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah, they had a down. They had a down season. He didn't have the players that.
But I know next year, both of y'all being in 5A, that's gonna be something to watch.
Oh yeah,
it's gonna be.
They both in 5A this year.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, from now on, we're gonna get that. We're gonna get that kind of
matchup.
Yeah, that matchup, and it's gonna mean something.
Right. No doubt.
Because it's gonna be probably the two best this side of the state.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be bragging rights on the line, north side against south side. Any way you want to cut it, and it's two of the best programs in the state playing each other.
Right.
So it's only 3 teams this side of the state that win multiple state championships.
So now,
you're right.
Central, Booker T, Memorial.
Mm-hmm.
Now McLean is looking good.
Yeah.
And is that going to come back where it's going to be a yearly thing, or?
Man, it's so hard for the inner city to compete with the suburbs now in the private school. It's difficult for inner city schools. I mean, you look around the state and the states period, the best programs are no longer in the inner city anymore. Those kids are not there. They're living in the suburbs now. And then with the way training and specialization and all that, you got to have the money to go pay for that stuff. A lot of kids in the inner city don't have the funds, and so they get left behind because there's no parks to go play at. There's no gyms to go play at. So the inner city model is dying, and we already see it with football. The inner city football teams they're not that good because those kids are going where the resources are and the money. And it's the same with basketball. Basketball is a little bit further behind, but I think it's coming too.
As long as we get the matchup between McLean and Booker T Central, things like that, if we can keep that, we good.
Yeah,
We good.
for sure.
So, all right. Hey, make sure y'all tune in next week. We have Coach Sherman. He was former NFL coach for the Seattle Seahawks, the Tennessee Titans. He was part of that Super Bowl Seattle team against New England. He's going to be on the show next week. So make sure y'all tune in. We got Coach Sherman is going to be on the show next week. He's a former running backs coach for the Seattle Seahawks and the Tennessee Titans, and the Washington, when he was coaching, was the Redskins, but it's Commanders now. So tune in next week, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. We want to thank Coach Brown for being on the show. We appreciate it. You bark at us.
We bark back.
To the beach, y'all. Nice, man. Always a pleasure.
What you in a 2X now?
Yeah, nah, 1, 2. Either one.
I'm gonna get you this shirt out here.
Probably 2 since they shrink.
Now I gotta head to the gym.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I'm trying to get back started, man. I'm
Yeah.
trying to get back started, man.
Yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with it. You gotta lay your nap.
Yeah.
I got a physical trainer on Saturday.
No, I didn't want to hear it, man. You supposed to give me a
Hey,
number,
bro,
man.
he ain't. I ain't been able to get with him for 3 weeks because he done had a death in the family. Then he had a tournament in Oklahoma City. He's an MMA fighter.
Okay.
Yeah, so he be going to go fight. You're like, hey, bro, they paying this.